Good day. Thank you so much for choosing to watch this video. 2 videos ago, I started by thanking the 16 new subscribers and how important I felt that the bigger the team, the stronger the team. Well, the following, which is the last video, added 20 more subscribers. And again, I defined this team as a round table. The bigger the table, the greater the ideas. Thank you so much for joining and making the team stronger. Today's video, I want to talk about a Mr. Brundle article. You may probably say, oh yeah, no, it's not Martin Brundle. Some of you may know that Martin Brundle has a son, Alex. I'm sure most of you know that. As a matter of fact, I remember watching his race with his dad in the Nürburgring about a year ago, where they came fourth, unluckily due to a flat. Otherwise, they did have a very good race as father and son. But I think Alex wrote a very interesting article, and I wanted to discuss that. Yeah, he talks about the elephant in the room, the struggle that Mercedes is going through, the dolphining, the purposing, the bouncing. Everybody knows that. Everybody is also aware that Mercedes is very likely to come up with an upgrade at the next Grand Prix in Miami. And it appears that that upgrade is going to be a less draggy rear wing. Now, it reminds me of one thing. In the Northeast, if you grew up here, you realize that most drivers know this. In the wintertime, one of the ways you deal with an oversteering car is to take a bag of cement or a heavy bag and place it under the rear axle of your car. It will minimize the oversteering of the car. And that, my friend, explains why Mercedes is likely to have a lesser draggy rear wing. There is no doubt that they have a certain solution to the bouncing rear axle, because with that, they need a lesser draggy rear wing. That is certainly one of observation, but it's also triggered by the article about Alex's point of view. And what I felt is even more important is how is Russell outperforming Lewis Hamilton by 21 points to date. That is why I'm actually recording this video today. Think about it. Just imagine the simple gesture of taking Russell's gloves and giving it to Lewis Hamilton on a lap. Just the gloves alone would have made a difference in one lap. Just the gloves. Formula One car are like gloves. What Russell is dealing with, and he talks about, is familiarity that Lewis Hamilton is unfamiliar with. It appears that if you look at Williams' last year's 2021 car, it was more a scrapey car and definitely not as efficient on the rear axle than the Mercedes 2021 car was. Thus, Russell is more at home with the car. Russell is dealing with it. His breaking point is different. Lewis Hamilton is reacting to the glove analogy. The gloves that I have on are not my gloves. I'm not used to these gloves. I can't drive with these gloves. I need the gloves to be made to fit my hands. My friends, I think that really hits the nail on the head. Lewis Hamilton is telling Mercedes, and unfortunately Mercedes, who bragged many, many times over about how they felt the 2022 season would have proved them better than lucky. Well, so far it hasn't been. But I think the issue now is, will Mercedes say Russell is 21 points ahead, fourth in the championship, at what point do they say, we're going to focus on Russell and deal with the car? We know we have the wrong car, but we can improve, maximize our points because we make money with points? Or do they say it's too early and early enough for us to fix the car, to have the right gloves for Sir Lewis Hamilton to shine? It is of my personal belief that Toto Wolff and Mercedes owe it to Lewis Hamilton to change direction and have the right car. Now, this car is not going to hinder Russell, but it's going to benefit Lewis. I think that Mercedes owe that effort, and I believe Toto is going to be supportive of that decision and that direction. I think what is so unlucky for Sir Lewis Hamilton is that Bottas is not in the team. Because if Bottas was still in the team, Lewis Hamilton would have still been outshining, not because he's a better driver, but because they've always used to the same car. I absolutely think it's not out of play to imagine that if you brought anyone else out of Williams, we know who I'm talking about, anyone else out of any other car, because of the glove analogy, was very likely to give Lewis a hard time in the current Mercedes. That's unfortunate, but that's reality. Coming to Miami, I spent 14 years in Miami. I know Miami inside out. Unfortunately, I will not be at that race, but I'm absolutely elated. And for those who are looking at Lewis Hamilton as just the guy who's an average driver. Now, I've been reading a lot about people talking about writing out Lewis Hamilton. Oh, he was just an average driver. You know, he's being outperformed by Russell. I hope this assessment and this article really shines light to the difference between a regular car and a Formula One car. A small change, such as your gloves, could change the outcome of just one lap performance. Thank you for watching. Would love to hear what you think. I'm more than grateful for the 20 additional subscribers. I can't wait for this channel to be as big as it's deserving. Thank you. God bless you. Look forward to the next weekend race. And hopefully, this is when the light will shine and the gloves would fit Lewis better than it has been so far this year. Good evening.